Guys, what's up? It's Kiki, and yeah. Oh my goodness, I'm driving myself nuts. This channel is called like It's Time to Wake Up, but also I'm pretty busy in the morning, so I don't know if I'm actually gonna be like waking up with you guys. You know what I mean? And so I don't drink coffee. We go matcha, not coffee because coffee makes Whoa, coffee makes me too jittery. So matcha gives me energy, but like a calm energy. There's a lot of good health benefits in matcha. So that's why we do matcha. Anyway, so today we're talking about homelessness and why things aren't changing. So I'm gonna just start off with this that I'm from Lawrence, Mass, and there's a lot of things wrong with how we deal with the homeless population. First of all, the mayor and Justice City continues to not help the homeless, but instead what they do is they continue to tear down their tent sites. That's not going to do anything. They're going to find more stuff, or they're like their body is still going to be there. The person is still going to be there. The population is still going to be there. Great, you tore down the stuff, but now you still have the same problem. It's just like, they're trying to fix a problem, but they're never actually fixing it. And what they're doing is that it's like they're basically wanting a picture perfect Lawrence City, but really there's a lot of underrooted problems. That's my first issue, is the fact that they want to seem like they're helping, but they're not. So the other part is that if you really want to, and I'm not just talking about Lawrence, I'm talking about everywhere. If you want to fix the homeless population, you have to first of all deal with them accordingly. You have to treat them like they're people, no matter what circumstance they're in, no matter how they got there. They are people and they deserve respect. That is also just part of my position and my core beliefs, which is the fact that people are people and people have basic human rights, meaning that they should be treated with respect, and it doesn't matter what their past or what their beliefs are or whatever, they deserve respect. So if you really want to deal with the homeless population, first of all, deal with them with respect, be kind to them, and understand them and not cut them off. That happens a lot, not only in the dealing with the homeless population, but in the general healthcare system. We tend to cut people off because providers have this superiority, and that's what you learn about, if you're a recovery coach or if you're a peer specialist, there is superiority. And because it's called a peer support role, you have no superiority and you are a mutual advocate, and you respect them mutually. Sorry about that, hold on. But yeah, you respect them mutually. So but in the healthcare system, professionals, doctors, psychiatrists, all that stuff, they have a superiority role. So most of the time, an enemy will use this. I am Christian. I have to bring the Bible into everything, and the enemy will use it to his advantage, and he will take these superiority roles and turn them into being rude, demonic, and using their ego. And so, but to deal with the homeless population accordingly, what we actually need to do is, people were just like, oh, why don't you go to a shelter? Why don't you go to a shelter? It is actually very, very rare that shelters run like this. And that's the one thing that I will give the Lawrence shelter this prop for, is the fact that they are a type of shelter where you can actually leave your stuff there all day, just follow the rules, come back on curfew. I used to be there. It along that lines, it was a great shelter because you were able to leave your stuff there. You didn't need to stand in line, you didn't need a call there. All you had to do was do the intake, make it all good, and then you have a bed, right? And so, but a lot of shelters don't run like that. A lot of shelters, you have to stand in line, you have to be there, you have to be out, you can't leave your stuff there, this and that. And that is the most harmful thing ever, because not only does it not give an individual like a chance to actually breathe, because probably in their mind they're going to be like, oh my gosh, where am I going next? Am I going to make it there on time? And maybe throughout the whole day, even when it's not even time to get in line, that's what they're thinking about. Am I going to make it there on time? But was actually going to make them not anxious, and what is going to help their mental health and actually progress them into getting housing or treatment, is if they have a stable place to live where their mind is not in fight, flight, or freeze, that they know that they're not going to be kicked out, Of course, there's probably going to be regulations and boundaries and stuff, but it's not an in and out. How can anyone be stable and let alone be in, a mentally healthy mindset when they're constantly hopping places? I hop places for many, many years, and it is draining. And who wouldn't want to use substances? Who wouldn't want to go into deep dark depression and deal with all of these mental health issues when they don't have stability in their life? Then we can move on to the fact that we need shelters that are long term, that focus on getting the individual needs, get them into detox if that's the route, get them into psychiatric facility if that's their route, or if getting them into an IOP, or getting them crime victim resources, or getting them whatever resources they need to be able to move forward into their lives, getting them housing applications, getting them grants. This is what needs to be done. Because the thing is that tearing down tent sites and just like handing out food, I'm sorry, but it's like not enough, because a lot of people can find by means of getting their own food, whether that's the dollar store, food stamps, much easier to get than actually getting a stable living. Or it's much better, because I've dealt with instances where I've supported individuals who were homeless. Great, they go to detox. What are they going to do after that? They don't even have supports, and I've made videos about this before on my Instagram. But what are they supposed to do? They don't have supports. They don't know the system. They don't know how things work. Some of them have criminal records. Like, they need support, and they don't need judgment. And what they need is some type of stability that makes they know, not only in their body but in their mind, that they are going to be safe to move forward. Some people don't even have the support. Some people don't even have the mindset. Some people don't even have the encouragement to the fact that things can get better and things can get different. Because the fact of change not only is hard, but it's intimidating. It's like, how can anyone move forward if they don't have any type of stability or support or community? I think that's a huge key as well. But we need to start making like actually helpful homeless shelters. Like, we need 24-hour staff, actual caseworkers, to work with what the person wants and not what they are just going to throw them into. Because you force anybody to do anything part of the recovery, it's not going to sustain, and you're just wasting your time. You're not only wasting that person's time, so you're wasting also your time as a case manager, because you have to go based off of what that person needs. Let's say that person has mental health, and so that provider, that social worker, is pretty much just like, okay, well, I suggest this, I'm going to send you there. What if that's not even what the person wants? What if the person, what they really want is to be in a stable environment, because for their whole life they lacked a stable environment, and that is their main key to their mental health issues? We have to take everything into account, but we especially need to take what that person wants into account and stop throwing them like they're just some case number that you can just put them anywhere, because they have rights too. So I could go on and on for hours about this, but I think we need to take this into biblical standards, that we need to actually care about the individuals who are low income, who are homeless, who are struggling, and stop treating them basically as some place that we can just tear down their tent sites and just say that we're actually helping them. No, we're not helping them. What we are is we're traumatizing them more, because they're constantly on the edge of, great, now all my stuff are lost, or great, now I'm being let down again. Because a lot of people that I've worked with and supported have the constant thing of saying, some person told me that they were going to help and they didn't. And I have that testimony too. And it's time that we actually start keeping up our word. And I talk about this a lot more on my Instagram, but basically it's called systematic neglect. When an organization says that they're going to do something, says that this is their role, this is their priority, and then they don't do it. That happens with law enforcement, that happens in the healthcare system, that happens in recovery, that happens in mental health, it happens everywhere. Systematic neglect. Why? Because the enemy is infiltrating in all these different areas in our lives, and we need it. And like, even retail lying and using these tactics, like, it's a lot. But that's what I really wanted to share in this video, that if we're saying we are going to help somebody, then we need to help somebody. But especially in the homeless community, like, if we're going to help them and say that we're helping them, then we need to keep our word. Because otherwise, it's just written records to get more grants for the company that's supposed to be helping people, but really they're not doing anything. This world is so engulfed with the idolatry of money and not actually helping people. God sees everything, God sees people's hearts, and I just pray that we can finally get to a place that actually cares about people and treats people justly, because God will deal with the unjust in a justly way. But yeah, that's what I got today. But yes, I will see you guys next time, and I hope you learned something from this. I don't know what I'll be doing on this platform, like specifically. I know that this will be used for my prophetic revelations that God gives me, but also I do want to use it for like socioeconomic stuff. I don't know. I have so many different categories that I like. Like I like mental health, obviously biblical, obviously revelations from God, prophetic. I don't know. All of my platforms just have everything because I don't know how to split it up, but that's what we're doing today. So, God bless you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.